Dogworks Radio is sponsored by Alaska Dogworks. Check out their website at alaskadogworks.com.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by First Paw Coffee Company, specializing in private label premium blend coffee. If you're serious about coffee, you should check it out. First Paw Coffee's passion is high-quality, small-batch roasted coffee. They take the extra time to taste and get everything perfect before they release new blends. They aim to bring you a cup of happiness each time you pour yourself some coffee. Find out more at ak.dog/free and enter for a chance to win some First Paw Coffee prizes, a book from our collection, and tote bag. One winner will be selected at random each month. That's ak.dog/free.
From First Paw Media, sponsored by First Paw Coffee Company, this is the Dog Driver Show. Visit our website at dogworksradio.com. Now here are your hosts, Robert Forto and Kurosh Parto.
Hello and welcome everybody. This is Robert and I'm here with my co-host KP and we are the Dog Driver Show. Be sure to check us out over on dogworksradio.com. Also check us out on social media by searching Dogworks Radio. And today we have the third show of our Leegaard dynasty. We've talked to a lot of these folks already and we've gone from old school 1970s mushing to a junior musher today. Her name is Maren, and she is 16 years old, and races in the junior classes in Norway. What can you tell us about her, KP?
So today we're going to be, as you mentioned, Robert, the third part of our Team Leegaard show, basically. And it's interesting because we have, like you mentioned, dynasties in Alaska quite a bit. You see, the Streeper families or the Earharts or the Taylors or the Cochrans, big names. Well, they have the same thing in Norway. So you have the Team Leegaard with backgrounds from 1970s all the way till juniors today. So Maren is granddaughter of Roger Leegaard, the famous Roger Leegaard, and of course she's a junior. And we're going to be asking and talking, having questions about junior racing in Norway. Maren, good morning to you, and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I'm Maren. I'm 16 years old and driving mostly 4-dog sleds and rig in junior classes in both Norway and international championships. And I have 8 dogs, 2 puppies from our new litter.
How long have you been racing, Maren?
I have been doing the stud dog sport in approximately 5 years.
And how did you start?
I started with joining my family to Norway Trail, stage race, and I really wanted a dog and asked my dad for a dog for many years, but he did not want me to get a dog because he knew how much work it was. So I decided to go out with my teddy bear to show my dad that I can take care of a dog. So I walked with my teddy bear for a month, and then I got a leader dog from Ketil Hillestad, which was my first dog that I started ski touring with.
And in Norway, you see a lot of the kids. I mean, we joke about it. We say they were born with skis. Of course, a lot of skiing and ski touring. When you started ski touring, was it a very competitive field in junior class?
No, it was not so many competitors. I think my first race, we were 3 or 4 competitors. But when I got older and up in the higher junior classes, it's many more competitors in ski touring.
And Maren, you mentioned that you're racing with sled now. So how do you juggle, as we usually talk to adults, people who, in the senior class, basically, they have jobs and they have, their own money and they, spend the money with the dogs and they juggle training and racing with their jobs and work and their dogs. You, as a student, I'm assuming, how do you organize between your school and sled dogs?
It's a full day of school and dog training and being with the dogs. So it starts with going out to the dogs in the morning, maybe take them out if I have time, and give them food. And then I go to my school. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm being there until 3 o'clock. But my bus is not home before 4. So after I'm coming home, I'm training the dogs, and it mostly takes from 2 till 4 hours. And then it's evening, and I'm doing my homework and going to bed, and it's going in repeat.
So, Maren, you had mentioned that you're in school all day, then of course working with the dogs at night. We've talked to a lot of distance mushers here in the U.S. that train for Junior Iditarod and things like that, and almost what they say every time is they don't have a social life outside of sled dogs because they're taking so much time. Do you have time for a social life where you can go to the movies or dance or dates or anything like that, or is it all about the dogs?
It's mostly about the dogs in the main season from autumn to spring. But because we mostly are on training in snowy conditions or other roads that the dogs can get different training in the weekends, and then it's difficult to join my friends and stuff. But in summer, I often join my friends doing other things than dogs. But if I want to achieve much from the sport, I have to give my work to the dogs so they can do work for me.
Maren, I don't know if you listen to a lot of our shows or not, but you are the very, very first junior interview we are doing in our show. Over 40 or so interviews we've done with some big names, streepers and your grandpa that we've interviewed. For me, it's very interesting to hear a young lady like yourself being dedicated like that. And a lot of question in my head: do you organize around the dogs all the work just yourself, or your dad, your family also helps? Finances, for example, dogs are not cheap. You work part-time to pay for that, or how does that work?
I mostly do all the work with the dogs by myself, and sometimes my grandfather helps me with training, and I think I almost every day send him a message of how I have been training, how the dogs have worked, and what my plan is for the next training. And my dad and mom helps me mostly for training, but I'm mostly being out in the trail alone.
Very good, very good. So when you, like you mentioned, your days, you go to school, come back, train, and do you train majority of your training at night?
Mostly, yes. But in the weekends, I like to try to spend the training at the day and in daylight.
And do you train with your cousins Rania and Yilva, or you train separately?
I mostly train separately, but when I have a chance, I like to train with them or other mushers, so the dogs can get used to train and run with other dogs.
And Maren, your dogs are the same bloodline as your cousins, Rania and Yilva, or there are different bloodlines and different type of dogs?
We have more or less the same dogs.
When you're traveling to races, you mentioned that you go to Norwegian Championship, to European Championship, hopefully. Do you go as a team with the whole family, or you take your dogs and your truck with your parents and your cousins, they go with their own trucks and their own dogs?
We usually go the whole family and the whole team. We used to take some extra days of holiday from the school to make it as a trip for the whole family.
And do you feed the same dog food, use the same sled, use the same harness? Your team basically, you share equipment too?
We feed the same and use almost the same equipment. We have some different sleds, and I think that's the biggest difference, actually.
When I was talking to your cousins last week, I forgot to ask them about the sponsors and the support that you are getting, if you are getting any. Do you have any sponsors, or your Team Leaguard? Do you guys have any sponsors you want to thank?
Yes, we have a sponsor who's give us food. It's called Vom og Hundemat in Norwegian, and they give us the food that our dogs need to run fast and be active. We also have a local bank here in Norway and in Andebu. It's called Andebu Sparebank, who helps us with going on trips and buying equipment if we need and that stuff. And we also have a equipment sponsor from France, Lumac Sledding.
Very good, very good. Pretty competitive sponsors and pretty competitive team Leaguard, ladies. I've seen some pictures. Dogs, they look great. You have all the same matching uniforms, and it's pretty impressive seeing young ladies like yourself doing that. So, what is your plan? What is your objective? What do you want to do as you become 18?
When I get older, I want to be doing the slalom sport, but driving in the senior classes, of course. And I also want to go more over to the stage races, like Norway Trail and Alpen Trail and that type of races, because I really like to be on the sled. And the sprint is also very fun, but you are out in 10 minutes maybe, and then the fun is over.
And by then you're going to be driving your own dog team to the race site. You don't need to ask someone else to drive the car for you or the truck for you, right?
Yes.
It's interesting because we have interviews all around the world, Robert, and I have some of the people who are worrying about speaking English in the interview with us, but it's very casual. With all dog drivers, when we speak dogs, right? It doesn't matter if it's Norway, Finland, Sweden, or Japan. It's the same language, the dog language, and I enjoyed listening to people from all around the world and share, their experience with the rest of our listeners.
Yeah, I'm getting an education in sprint mushing, and I think it's an excellent service that we're providing, and especially from all of these different perspectives, way down from, like we said, these old school mushers with Roger and all the people that really started the sport in the early days. Now we have all of this this new wave of mushers, including Maren and what she's doing there. Maren, you had mentioned that you want to eventually race international. Are you planning on going outside of Scandinavia, like to France or to Germany or Latvia or somewhere like that, or do you want to stay there in the more northern climates where you're used to racing?
I have raced a lot in Norway and some few races in Europe, and I think it's fun to compete with other competitors from other countries, and in the trails in other countries that's very different from Norway, but I would also like to join races in the USA and Alaska and try doing the slalom sport over there.
So, Maren, I always ask our guests the same question, and I'm really excited to hear your answer because you are truly the future of the sport, your generation, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out over the next 20 or 30 years or so. But my question is, if somebody were to ask you for advice, they're just getting started, whether they're a junior or a senior, a little kid even, what would you tell that person that's just getting started in the sport?
I would tell them to start with maybe one dog and try or hear about all the different categories in the sled dog sport, so you know what you liked most, and then train with other juniors or youths on your same age and in your milieu. In your club, so you can train and have fun with the sled dog sport and dogs together.
Excellent. Good advice for sure. KP, anything else?
Yes, actually, as a race organizer ourselves, organizing dryland races at Chugiak Dog Mushers or Eagle River Classic race. Maren, for us as organizers and as adults who are organizing races and trying to promote our sled dog sport, how do you think we should put our efforts to attract more juniors?
To attract more juniors, maybe it's a difficult question actually, but to have classes for juniors and maybe start with the easier trails and easier pools with dogs, and give them opportunities to race with the seniors so they can feel how it is racing with the veteran mushers.
Very good, very good. I really, really enjoyed this conversation with you, Maren. Good luck to you with the training. Good luck to you with racing. And you ladies, whenever you're ready to head up to Alaska, you're always welcome here. We'll have perfect trails and fast trails for you. So come on over. And we'll be following your results. And you, Rania Yilvaz, on Facebook. And wish you the best of the luck.
Thank you very much, Maren. This is Robert for the Dog Driver Show on behalf of my co-host KP. We will see you guys next time. Be sure to check us out on the web on dogworksradio.com. You can find all of our episodes. If you have a guest or an interview you would like to hear, please shoot us a message over on Facebook, and we'll do our best to get them on. People are calling like crazy, wanting to get on the show and tell their stories, but there are so many people out there. So find these folks and get them on the air, and we will talk to them soon. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
This episode of the podcast is sponsored by First Paw Coffee Company. Learn more at firstpaw.coffee.
From First Paw Media, this is the Dog Driver Show. We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we invite you to subscribe in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. You'll find a link on the episode notes. You can tap or swipe on the episode cover art, and you can see some offers from our sponsors. You can support our show by supporting them. If you like what you have heard, we would love it if you could give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe too. Your hosts are Robert Forto and Kurosh Parto. Our producer is Robert Forto and created for First Paw Media.